Good afternoon, Film Courage, Karen, David, and all the rest. My name is Josh Tomjack. I'm 22 years old. I'm a college student, and I'm an aspiring filmmaker. I've been writing seriously for about 3 or 4 years. Storytelling has always been something that's lit a fire within me ever since I was a young kid, but it hasn't been until recently that I really started to understand the career possibilities that kind of go along with that. And I really haven't looked back since. My current script, I've been working on it for about 8 or 9 months now. It's called The It Girl. It's about, one young man's journey of quite literally trying to turn his fantasy into a reality by thrusting himself into an acting career, with no experience whatsoever and no desire really, because his sole intention, his sole purpose is to meet and to court, the only woman who he deems to be worth his time. His only purpose is to achieve this fantasy, and of course this dream woman happens to be, one of the most famous, most popular actresses in Hollywood. And like I said, I've been polishing it, revising it, putting it through the ringer for about 9 months now, closing in on a year. But it's an exciting process. It's exciting for me because it has so much to offer me, and I think it has so much to offer other people as well. It's such a self-reflective process, writing. And in this case, it deals with this theme that we all struggle with, this idea of self-imposed expectations, this idea of dreams, ideals, fantasies, and trying to turn them into reality. The harsh truth is, it's incredibly difficult to turn these ideas of happiness and satisfaction, these assurances that we have within ourselves of what it's going to take to make us happy. It's extremely difficult to turn these things into reality, to make these things come to fruition. And that's a process that I've been battling my entire life. The pressure that we put on ourselves. The character in this story, his absolute worst fear is settling for a life that underwhelms him. And isn't that all of our fears? We all have this idea, we all have this clear picture of exactly what it's going to take, whether it's a career or otherwise, whatever it may be. We know so clearly exactly what it's going to take to make us happy and satisfied. But the interesting, fascinating bit is, these things, they tend to evolve as we do. Just a simple look at the past will tell you that. And I think this is fascinating. This is what we all go through, and this is what my characters go through in this story. And I believe in this, and this is why I don't want to give up on this script, because I believe in this message. I believe that universally people can connect with this struggle, this inner pressure that we have on ourselves to reach our own expectations, to achieve these dreams and these fantasies, and to deal with not achieving them, and understanding ourselves. But on a more pragmatic level, the script is just a testament to me. The characters in this story are going through so many similar processes that I'm going through, internally and externally, and the script has kind of just been a testament of what it means to take action on a regular basis, what it means to be disciplined, what it means to work towards your goals, because obviously that's what the characters are doing, and it kind of re-inspires that in me. It reminds me of that, and that's why I don't want to give it up. I guess then I'll move into kind of a lesson that writing has taught me, and this is not necessarily just for this script, but just in general, as I've been writing for the last 4 years or so, I've come to understand people a little bit deeper, and I know that's kind of broad to say, but when you're writing and crafting characters as real people, you start to understand the world on a less egotistical level. We all live our lives in our own, with the blinders on, in our own worlds, focused on what we want, what we need. But when you're creating characters, you begin to understand, I guess on a more empathetic level, that we're all so similar, that we all have desires, we all have inspiration, we all have passion, we all face inner turmoil, we all face dilemmas, because you have to feel these things to create characters, and then you begin to understand that, the people that you're sitting in traffic with, they're just as stressed out as you are. I think this is the fascinating thing about writing, and it offers you this ability to take a step back and understand people, understand your family, your friends, and the people that you're passing by each day on a deeper level. But yeah, I guess the next thing that I'd bring up is just my process of writing here. I write every day just like any aspiring filmmaker should, or writer should. I mean, obviously some days it's not possible. Obviously some days I slip, but I'm not going to say I'm perfect by any means. But as a college student, it's difficult. My schedule is varying constantly. What it really comes down to for me is just taking stock each and every morning of the obligations that I have in front of me, and finding that perfect time, and no pun intended here, but finding the right time to write for that particular day. That's all I can do, and honestly, it makes things a little bit easier for me to take it day by day like that. I guess finally, I'll talk about the goals for the script. Obviously, I'd love to see it in production, but the most important thing for me is to have the script teach me things. The best thing that it can do is be instructive to me as I move forward as a writer, as I begin to understand deeper what it means to create fascinating characters, to create compelling stories. And each day I need to be learning things, and that's kind of the most important thing that this script can do for me. And just on a more broad level, obviously, I want to get to a place where I can, invest all of my time and energy into filmmaking, into screenwriting, and creating and sharing stories with people, because ultimately, films have had such a powerful effect on my life, and I feel like it's time for me to kind of share my own experiences, for me to kind of give back to that industry. I feel so strongly about, trying to have the kinds of emotional impacts that so many wonderful filmmakers, directors, and writers have had on me in the past. I want to contribute to that, and I want to get to a place where, I can sustain myself and dedicate all of my time and energy to that process. Because obviously, you gotta, just like my character in the story, if you can't stop thinking about something, you know it's for real, and that's kind of the place I'm at in my life. But again, I want to thank you guys over at Film Courage for this tremendous opportunity. I appreciate everything that you do for us. I've learned so much from your channel. You guys are great, and I want to thank you again, and I look forward to hearing from you soon.